Klarna has fired over 4,400 employees in the past year. They have reduced their staff from 7,400 to just over 3,000 employees in just 1 year. And this is despite the company growing its revenue and its customer base. But how is this possible? Artificial intelligence, AI, automation is powering this entire thing. But don't take my word for it. The Klarna CEO just yesterday in an interview with Bloomberg, Klarna CEO Sebastian Siemiatkowski, forgive me, says, and I quote, there is a massive shift coming. I think society will have to figure it out. What are we going to do? Because yes, new jobs will be created, but in the shorter term, that doesn't help. What is he saying here? Well, in the short term, there's gonna be massive pain. Companies like Klarna are just downsizing like crazy because they realize that the efficiency of AI is very powerful. And in today's video, we're gonna cover exactly what's gone right with Klarna, what's gone wrong, and some of the lessons that we can learn as men trying to provide for our families in this new AI age. Guys, we are moving out of the industrial revolution. We're moving out of the information age. We're moving into the AI age. Everything is flipped. Everything has changed. And if you want to keep up with what's happening and how you can remain relevant, respected, financially free so you can pay and protect your family, guys, this is the time to like and subscribe, man. I'm out here 6 days a week bringing you the newest news in this world. So thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. So Sebastian, the Klarna CEO, continues here that there are currently 8,000 translators in Brussels. They're all dead. They're all dead. Guys, what do you need a translator for when you have AI? A couple days ago, I'll put a link to it here. A few days ago, I recorded a video on Meta's new AI-powered glasses. And it has a translator built directly in. It will actually pop up a little screen inside of your glasses that translates what people are saying to you. So you don't need to hire a translator. You could go buy these glasses for $800, which is not cheap. But if you're looking for a free way to do it, you just pop open ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, translate Polish to English. I did this exact thing a year ago when I visited Poland with my wife. My wife is 100% Polish, born there, moved here when she was 10, and she has family there. And her family, they don't speak English, they speak Polish. So how do I connect with them? I pop open ChatGPT. I was speaking to her aunt. I was speaking to her father. We were having intellectual conversations. They were shocked, by the way, at how powerful ChatGPT was. It doesn't just stop there, though. We've been looking for a housekeeper for our home, and we had a Brazilian housekeeper come to the house. She only spoke Portuguese. What do? Pop open ChatGPT. You don't need a translator anymore, guys. And look, translator is just one job that's basically extinct. There are many jobs, and that is the point that the Klarna CEO is trying to make here. Long term, things are gonna shake out. There's gonna be more jobs created, but in the short term, there's gonna be massive pain. And if you're a 45-year-old man who's a father of two, you got kids, you got a wife, you've got a mortgage, you got car bills, maybe you have student loan payments, what the hell are you gonna do? And by the way, on that idea of student loans, I'm gonna post a link to a video here because I covered this maybe a month ago. The college graduate unemployment rate has skyrocketed. College graduates cannot find jobs. Why? Because companies like Klarna are not only firing existing staff, they stop hiring new staff. Instead, they're going to their existing staff and saying, hey, learn AI, implement AI. You don't need an executive assistant anymore. You're gonna have 20 AI agents serving you. That is the future of work, boys. That's the future of work. I covered this a couple days ago in a video. I'll post a link to the video here. I'm bringing the receipts, guys. I'm bringing the freaking receipts. I'll post a video here. Accenture has just fired 11,000 employees, and they, get this, have worked to upskill 550,000 people on their staff with AI. So listen, Accenture, huge company, but all these companies are upskilling their employees. They're saying, learn AI or GTFO. And in some cases, they're gonna say, we don't need you anymore because the AI is even better. And I'm gonna cover that in here in just a moment with what Klarna did, because you're still probably saying, well, Mark, you said that this is about Klarna, and Klarna dropped from 7,400 employees to 3,000. Where did they cut? I'm gonna cover that in just a minute. And by the way, I can only cover a few things here in these videos. If you go to my newsletter, aiupdate.ai, every Saturday, I'm bringing you what I consider to be the best news, the most important news that you need to know. So anyway, go over there. It's totally free. AIupdate.ai. I'll put a link below to check that out. But let's kind of continue here with what the Klarna CEO said. He said, widespread adoption will enable automation of 30 to 40% of clerical and analytical roles. He also cited that 70% of financial professionals are already using AI to make decisions. 70%. Yeah. Now, look, in some ways, I think that's a good thing. I don't know that I'd want to use a financial advisor or certified financial professional, CFP. I don't know that I'd want to use someone in finance that wasn't using AI. I would want them to use AI, put it through the filter of the wisdom and the experience and the relationship that they have to make better decisions. However, that financial advisor isn't going to need 2 or 3 assistants. He's going to have the right tools. He's going to have the right resources. He's going to use the right AI the right way in order to power his decisions. Because what is AI great at? It is great at reading data. Fantastic at reading data. I'm using it more and more every day. And I'll give you an example. I'm the CMO for a SaaS company. We're doing about 3.5 million a year in annual recurring revenue. And sometimes there's charts, there's graphs, there's all this data. It's hard to get through it all as I'm preparing for meetings with the other leaders in the company. So what do? I'm exporting, I'm taking screenshots, I'm uploading it all to a GPT, and asking it to analyze the data. And it's given me a lot of really brilliant stuff. It makes me much more prepared for meetings. It helps me identify things that I might not have seen otherwise. You know how it is. You're gonna meet with the leadership team for your organization, and you've got to look through spreadsheet after spreadsheet after spreadsheet, chart after chart after chart, graph after graph. You throw it into AI, it's going to do a great job analyzing that data for you. And this problem is so obvious to me that this is why it's so important to me that I'm bringing you these numbers to kind of wake you up and say, hey, now's the time. But what I find is interesting, as I was researching for today's video, I found a report from Pymnts.com. I'll put a link to it in the comments below. That was kind of interesting here. Generation Z are the most concerned about this issue. About 38% of Gen Zers are concerned about short-term job loss. Generation X are the least concerned generation at only 29% of Gen Xers even care. Are y'all checked out or something? Are you like, listen, man, I've got enough money in the bank, I own a home, my debt is low, if AI takes my job, that's cool, I'll check out. I don't, and quite frankly, maybe someday, in the future, I'll share all the analytics on the demographics of my channel again. But I reach a lot of you guys, you Gen Xers, and I'm kind of questioning where you guys are at with all this, because to me, it's concerning. I mean, the reality is, the Ponzi scheme that is Social Security and Medicare, like, how long is that going to last? Do you have enough money in the bank to really keep up with inflation? What about the intense rising costs? Do you have enough Bitcoin in the bank? Like, what do you guys think? Type your comments below. If you're a Gen Xer, are you concerned about AI? Are you not concerned about AI? If not, why? Tell me in the comments below. I want to hear. Because, by the way, at the end of the video, I'm going to share my thoughts on one of the newer objections to AI that I've seen. I've seen a few people post this in the past week in the comments, and I'm going to address that at the very end of the video. First, I want to talk just a little bit more about Klarna and how Klarna is using AI to fire their staff, essentially. And this was a big one for me, because this is interesting. So Klarna replaced 700 full-time customer service agents with an OpenAI chatbot, okay? Said, we're not doing customer service anymore, we're gonna use a chatbot. By the way, they're not the only company doing this. Salesforce, I'll post a video link here. Salesforce just let go of 45% of their customer service staff. A lot of companies are doing this, guys. If you're in a call center right now, it's time to level up. It's time to start preparing. It's time to start building additional streams of income. It's time to get lean and mean. Pay down that debt, boys. Anyway, so Klarna replaced 700 full-time customer service agents with one OpenAI chatbot. The average resolution time dropped to less than 2 minutes. And by the way, this was over a year. This was a year and a half ago that they did this. This was in February of 2024. So do you know how much better AI chatbots have gotten over the past year and a half? They're not even recognizable. There's an old video from a little about that time of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it looks crazy. He's like eating his fingers, his hair's turning into spaghetti. It's nuts. They just redid that video. It is unrecognizable. You would think it's Will Smith. So it's gotten a lot better, okay? Now, interestingly enough, and I think this is an important point to make, the quality control did suffer, okay? So they replaced all these people, they brought in AI chatbot. The quality control did suffer, and it was a problem. So as a result, Klarna had to go back and rehire more people back to the organization. But let me ask you a question here. Do you think that Klarna and these other companies, after they say, okay, we went too hard in the paint, we went too fast with AI, well, now what we're gonna need to do is hire back. When they go to hire, by the way, getting hired now is tough. There's a lot of people trying to find jobs. That's a whole nother story. But when they go out there and they rehire, do you think they're looking for someone that understands artificial intelligence? Do you think they're looking for people that are using these tools? Or are they saying, no, actually, I want to hire the guy that's 45 years old, 47 years old, and he's done. He doesn't believe in AI. He thinks it's trash. That's the guy I want to bring in. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they want to bring in people that are excited, that are energized about AI. They already know how to execute an AI agent. They're already operating with AI agents. That's, I think, who they're going to be looking for. Color me crazy. So at any rate, let me know your comments below, what you think about Klarna, what they're doing. Do you think it's all smoke and mirrors? Do you think that they're just offshoring Indian workers? Or do you think this AI thing is legit? Do you think that AI chatbots, AI data analysts could actually replace human jobs? Do you think that AI could replace translators in Brussels? There's 8,000 of them. Do you think that those Brussels translators are still gonna have jobs in a year? 6 months? I'm not optimistic. But I want to address here at the end of the video, thanks for being here, liking, subscribing, all that. I want to address an objection that I saw come up a few times, because my stance here with these video guys is not to scare the crap out of you and say, oh, it's over, the world is ending, bring in Sarah Connor to save us from the Terminator. That's not my stance. My stance on these videos is to wake you up, say, guys, this is what's happening, this is the reality, but we're men. What do? We adjust. We make moves. We upskill, and that's my point. We need to start upskilling. We need to start learning how to deploy AI agents. We need to start testing different programs and softwares within our organizations. That's my stance. But one of the things that I've seen you guys say in the comments is, well, AI is improving itself so rapidly that what's the point? We're not gonna be able to keep up with AI. We're not gonna be able to keep up with the robots. So what's the point? And I'll just say that, like, that is a very nihilistic point of view, guys. Your wife and kids are counting on you, man. They are counting on you. And if you're not married, well, if you wanna find a girlfriend, you better pull it together, because the idea that, well, it's gonna be too hard, everything's working against me, I don't like the president, whatever your point is, guys, we are not afforded the luxury of that nihilism, right? One of my favorite movies is the movie Braveheart. And there's this point where Mel Gibson and his Scottish ragtag band are up against a massive English army. And Mel Gibson is riling up the troops. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about this. And there's someone in the crowd that says, look, the English are too many. Basically saying, let's go home. And Mel Gibson is like, what are you gonna do? Yeah, maybe you'll survive, but for a little while. And then one day in your beds, You'll be talking to your sons and daughters and granddaughters and saying, if I could go back, I would have taken that one chance for freedom. And I know I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent here, but here's the point, guys. Yes, AI will improve itself, 100%. Yes, jobs will be displaced, 100%. But it's time to step up. You don't have the luxury to lay down and say that it's all bad. You have an opportunity, guys, now to start upskilling, to start testing out new things, using AI, talking to people in the comments, finding the opportunities. By the way, I'm not selling you anything. You can go to my newsletter, it's completely free. I have nothing to sell you, okay? But don't sell yourself short. The future looks bright for those who take advantage now. The opportunities are tremendous. Trillions of dollars are moving, and you deserve a piece of that pie for solving problems. All right, boys, I gotta get to softball and baseball practice. I got a coach, I've got lots of games happening today with the kids. But if you enjoyed today's video, I appreciate it. You are gonna love yesterday's video. Figure 03 humanoid robot has just dropped, and it is insane. It is absolutely insane. Go watch yesterday's video. Thank me later. I'll see you there, boys. See ya. Peace.